Hello everyone, and welcome to a quick overview of how I usually overhaul my city by getting rid of the inefficient buildings and old special buildings or event buildings that are no longer worth the space that they take up. I find that it is easier to do this while on the PC instead of playing on my phone, since you can hover your mouse over the buildings and it will come up with all of the different production and boosts or permanent effects, as it's shown here, of the building, and you can compare that with all the other buildings in your city. It makes it a lot easier, and obviously with the Excel sheet that I use, it it's good to go back and forth and have it hovering like this instead of on mobile you have to click on the building and then it goes away. So without any further ado, I have the copy of my Excel sheet up. I have made a video in the past of the efficiencies of buildings. This is my own calculation. This is just what I feel is important for special buildings to have. You may come up with a different Excel sheet with a different ranking for your buildings, but this is the example that I'll use. So the last time I did a city overhaul, I think that I tried to aim for a building efficiency of 30 or better. And when I say 30 or better, this column here on the far right side basically tallies up all of the different advantages that a building will give you with attacking boosts, defending boosts, forge points, goods, units, and then I also made a different set of columns for guild battleground boosts, guild expedition boosts, and quantum incursion boosts. And all of those things added together gives us this column on the right side. So at the very bottom are the extremely inefficient buildings like Insect Hotel, Road to Victory, Iridescent Garden, what else? Just a normal terrace farm, um, Tribal Square. Unfortunately, a lot of stuff from Guild Expedition. Guild Expedition needs to get a little bit better. It has improved in the past, or it has improved recently with the Golden Serpents and the Golden Terrace farms. Um, so those are looking better. But as you can see, the tiny Fountain of Youth is not worth it. Anyway, so back to this list. As I mentioned, I'm going to aim for an efficiency of 30 points or better, which puts us at the Royal Shroom Throne or lower. Now, that being said, there are special circumstances. There are special buildings that I would probably keep just because of a special production or some advantage that is not currently given within this Excel sheet. It's not perfect, and that's fine. So, for example, this estate building that I'm not going to try to pronounce the first half of the name, if you look at it, um, it does provide a decent amount of boosts, population, happiness, forge points, some future level goods, which doesn't really matter for me since I'm in the last age. But what it does give is 10 fragments to finish special production items, which are paramount when I have my Forgotten Temples all going, and I have a very large forge point boost, and I can just cycle through my Blue Galaxy special double production with my Eternal Market producing thousands of forge points at a time. So that's one advantage of this building that will most likely make me keep it. The other one is the 50 charges per cycle for quantum incursion. Those are fairly difficult to come by. I believe the only other building that I have in my city is the Yokitomo Empire and the Yokitomo Plaza. Those also give charges for quantum incursion. So things like that, advantages like that would cause me to keep this building, even though on my Excel sheet, technically, it is less efficient than some of the other buildings that I I would get rid of, like the higher level cider garden or the shroom throne, stuff like that. So before I start deleting everything, I'll just do a quick review of my current boosts, and then hopefully at the very end of this video, when I cut out and I do all the work behind removing all the buildings and replacing them with hopefully much more efficient buildings and much better buildings, when we come back to this boost overview page, all of the numbers will be higher. Maybe not significantly higher, but at least a little bit higher. So coin production, 1,262%, supply production, 808%, forge point production is only 13%, attacking units for the normal army, 7215 for attack, 5986 for defense, 5575 for city defenders, attack, 5548 for defense, guild battlegrounds, 11,294, 10,086, 7,943, 8,874, 10,047, 9,472, 8,882, 9,532, and then quantum incursion 335, 320, 340, 275. No quantum boosts. Usually these come from ascended buildings anyway, so this might not increase either. And I'll write all these down so that I don't have to read through them next time. I can just let you know if they've increased. But that's just the benchmark of what we're trying to improve. And I have to do this every so often. I would say once or twice, maybe once a month, once every 2 months, because at this late in the game, I do not have much more space to get. The expansions are fairly expensive. I have 6 diamond expansions left. I have 5 quantum expansions left. So I think I'll pretty much finish out this row here. And then I think that's it. For the most part, that will fill up most of the space that I have left. I have these 3 over here, and then this second row. I'm almost positive you can't fully unlock all of these, because the only other expansions that I can think of are from the castle system. You get 1 expansion at level 16, 1 at 18, and 1 at 20. So that's 3 other expansions. I'm not sure where else we could get them from. If you do know, let me know in a comment below. Just so I don't have to look at it myself. But basically, I have to make the best use of the room that I have because I'm running out of space. And for those of you that are thinking about commenting that I should get rid of my Coliseum, don't bother. My Coliseum is level 100, and I will be keeping it until I quit this game. Same with Notre Dame, but Notre Dame is only level 11. Soon to be level 100 though, hopefully. So, with that rant complete, I will pause the recording and get to work, and in 5 seconds you will see my new city. And I'm now back after a few seconds for you, but a couple days for me. And to prove it, we had a little miniature rival challenge that I've completed, thankfully. But anyway, my city has altered slightly. Some buildings have been removed. Some better buildings have been placed. Just to give you an idea, and we'll minimize that, this is the amount of space that I have left over after removing everything that was, according to my list, inefficient, and adding everything in my inventory that was efficient enough to place. This is the extra space that I have. So I wanted to give an idea of the changes to my boosts that I got, even though I now have more space than I had. So coin and supply production did not change at all. Forge point production only went up by 2%. But to be fair, for some buildings, 2% is a lot. The Eternal Market, 2% is another 8 to 10 forge points. My normal army attacking units, both attack and defense for the attacking units went up by over 600. The defense, the city defenders for attack and defense, the attack actually only went up by 20, and the defense actually dropped by 30, which I thought was interesting. My guild battleground attackers, both attack and defense, went up significantly, 700 and 1000 respectively. And then the defenders, similar to the normal army, not as significant of an increase, 100 for attack and 30 for defense. Guild expedition attackers, again, 900 and 1000 for attack and defense. And then my guild expedition defenders attack actually went down by 300, and then the defense didn't change pretty much at all. It went from 9532 to 9555. Quantum incursion increased by 40 for attack and 15 for defense, and then by defenders, no change at all. And same with coin and supply production, because I don't have any ascended buildings right now. So overall, obviously, some major increases to a lot of the boosts. I was hoping for more increase for city defenders and battleground defenders and expedition defenders, because obviously that is where I'm lacking, and that's where I'm finding myself losing the most when in guild battlegrounds and guild expedition, fighting against the defending armies. So unfortunate in that regard, but honestly, increases to attack only help me out. I could probably get a little bit more attrition in guild battleground, which starts tomorrow. We are part of the new Super Championship League, where everything's on fire and there's only 4 different guilds battling against each other instead of the normal 6 or 8, I want to say. But in any case, this was a complete city overhaul. Like I said, I do this maybe once every 1 or 2 months. This one was definitely more involved, I think. And of course, I was trying to record and explain everything as I was going about it, which is probably why it took a couple days to do. So that is the end of this video. Thanks very much for watching. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. If you enjoyed this video and would want to see more, please like and subscribe. And as always, keep on jamming.